After the offseason, I always like to look at teams that make the biggest moves, and of course, think that those teams are going to make a big swing. But on today's episode, we're going to talk about the teams that are sleepers in the East and the Western Conference, despite what they did or did not do in the offseason. We're going to talk about all that and more right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome to another episode of The Huddle, presented by NBA Central. We got Big Kev, C-Dub, Bobby, Steve-O, myself, Hayes, in the building today. And fellas, one simple topic to jumpstart the conversations. Who are your sleepers right now in the East and the West? We know that not all the moves are done. All the major moves are probably done, though, even though restricted free agents still need to be signed somewhere. But who are your guys' sleepers so far?
I start off. I start in the Eastern Conference, and I want to lay out how I went about this with the team. And I think a sleeper is a guy that comes from a team that comes from the shadows and can compete for a championship that nobody seen coming if it all comes together. And my team is going to be the Atlanta Hawks. And what ingredients you need to make yourself a championship team?
I think
yeah, you were talking about.
Wow.
I mean, Mike didn't have that shit. So.
I know. I'm just talking
first,
shit.
You need multiple stars. Now, you might say that's a question mark with the Atlanta Hawks. I would say they at least have one in Trae Young and two, count them, two potentials. One being Jalen Johnson, who averaged 18.5 points per game last year and 10 rebounds. And don't forget 5 assists. That's amazing numbers. If you just look at that, I expect this young guy to improve. And Ricochet, the rookie of the year.
Wait a second.
Wait
one damn minute.
Bro, did you say Ricochet?
Ricochet?
That's a wrestler.
Zachary. You see that name and that's how you pronounce it? Is Ricochet?
Zachary, come on, guys. Damn, that's right. God damn it. Let's do it at the end. Ricochet. Let's go. Ricochet is another top talent. He was rookie of the year. A dynamic player who could play both sides. He do got to do a little bit of work on the defensive side, but offensively, he already got a giant bag. Add to the bigs that they got over here, dynamic, athletic, plays defense, get up and down the floor. They got Big O. They got Porzingis. And they got the young boy Asanul, who will have big impact with this Atlanta Hawks team. Now, what about the perimeter? They definitely got better on the perimeter with my guy, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You got the defensive player of the year in Dyson Daniels. This team is prepped and ready to make a sneaky way into the competitive landscape in the Eastern Conference.
I like that pick.
I like that pick a lot. I don't like the Ricochet, but I love that pick. That's actually the team I was going to go. I'm not letting it go, bro. That was a gross mispronunciation of his name, my boy. But no, the pick, I love it. I think that the Atlanta Hawks have definitely they've made their move. They've seen that gap in the Eastern Conference, and they said, we're trying to get in there and take advantage of that. And I think this is a perfect time to do it. Both Trae Young and Kristaps Porzingis could be free agents at the end of the year. Trae Young has an option. So this is their time to go all in and to really see what they can be with this team before they have to make some serious financial decisions going forward. So I think that's a great pick by Dub.
Yeah, Dub, that's a good pick. If we're going to stick with the East for this part of the segment, I'm going with the New York Knickerbockers. I know they got rid of Tom Thibodeau. I know that took place. But this team was a few shots away from making it to the NBA Finals. They went toe-to-toe with Indiana in the Eastern Conference Finals. They still have Jalen Brunson, who we all know what he's capable of, 30 points per game, 7 assists a game. You still have Karl Anthony Towns, who caught a major stray at the ESPY Awards. If y'all didn't see that, that was hilarious.
Definitely funny.
My man averaged 24 and 13 last season, and he can stretch the floor and shoot the three. The biggest problem I have with the New York Knicks is they're top heavy. Their starting lineup is awesome. The bench, not so much, but they went and answered that, or they could have answered that by grabbing Jordan Clarkson this offseason and adding him to the bench as well. I just feel like this team is probably going to be slept on a lot. going into the season, especially with the changing at the head coach position. But they still have pretty much everybody. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges was in the contract year. He's trying to get some bread over there as well, trying to get an extension. I'm not sure if he's in the contract year, but I know he is talking about getting an extension with the Knicks. He's going to be playing well as well. I feel like the New York Knicks are going to get slept on just because they let go of Tom Thibodeau.
I ain't mad.
I don't know if you can consider a team that was a top 3 team in the East a sleeper, but I get your logic makes sense. I get what you're getting at with the logic for sure. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I agree with C-Dub on this one. My team that was a sleeper was the Atlanta Hawks, simply because I believe all the moves that they made this offseason was pretty much saying, hey, Boston, Jason Tatum is hurt. We don't necessarily believe that y'all going to be the team that y'all could have been if Jason Tatum did not suffer that Achilles injury. And then you looking at the Indiana Pacers with Hallie going down with Achilles as well. And then to add on to C-Dub's point, it was pretty much you looking at Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but then they also added a shooter in Luke Kennard, which, you know what I'm saying? And then shout out to Trae Young going out there and doing some recruiting for them to see an opportunity. And I'm looking at Trae Young. Yes, he has some things he has to clean up. We already know when you get in the playoffs, you can't have too many players on the defensive side. So it's going to be I'm going to be anxious to see if my man's Trae Young can open up and at least be a competent defender. Can you defend at least a little bit to where you are respectable?
No,
we have not seen much of it, but you're going to have to hold your own at least a little bit in the playoffs.
Let me fight back on that one thing. I think that they've actually added defenders to where if Trae gets beat, that they've added Asa Newell, they got Kristaps Porzingis, you still got Dyson Daniels down there, you also added Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So I think even if Trae does not have like this, is still shit defensively, that they've at least added enough to that team around them defensively to where they could be okay. I think is
that's
the key
a
there.
Fair point.
Still got Dyson Daniels. Didn't he finish second in the Defensive Player of the Year?
Yep.
Yeah, but Dyson Daniels is not a great on-ball defender. He's just not. He's really good at getting steals, playing in the passing lanes, really solid off-ball defender. But his on-ball defense, it's not bad, but it's. I think people have taken the steals and now think he's like some amazing lockdown defender. He's not.
I think it's a lot of negatives, Drip, to your point about the guys that can back Trae Young up if he's not that good defensively. You guys can get in foul trouble. Frustration from your teammates from constantly got to come and help you. It can be a lot of negatives to that, having to make up the ground for a guy.
And I get that, but let's be clear here. Like Trae Young has added more and more assists to his game every single year over the past 5 years. So like if you got to be upset that you got to cover somebody, guess what? He's going to give it to you on the offensive side of the ball to make sure you stay involved in the game. Like you talking about Heat from 2023-24 to 24-25, he added an extra assist per game while taking less shots. So like I know he's not much on the defensive side, but he does make up for it by getting everybody involved on offense.
He does, and I think that's why I'm leaning on the Atlanta Hawks as a sleeper, because we've seen Trae Young perform well in the playoffs. Not necessarily from the 3-point line, because it's an abysmal 30% for his playoff career. But you seen my man go out there and do 26 assists, 26 points and 9 assists. 26 points and 9 assists in the playoffs overall. He does have to be better from the 3-point line, but I think that from what we've seen, at least in the Eastern Conference, if you got a good engine that can distribute the basketball and pull up some points, you will give yourself a chance. So I think Trae Young will be good in that department when it comes to it. And you added a champion like Kristaps Porzingis. The biggest question will be, will he be healthy and ready to go in the playoffs when it's time to go ball out?
And just to highlight what I was saying about Dyson, because I already know people are going to be in the comments like, what do you mean, Hayes? Just to go overall, what field goal percentage do you all think Dyson Daniel gives up on isolation? This is just isolate. When he is isolated as a defender against somebody, what do you think the field goal percentage that he gives up?
The reason you bringing it up, I'm going
40%.
55%.
48.9%, almost 50% he gives up shooting.
I felt like we was on the Price is Right there.
That's not good, bro. That's why I say like he gives up 38% on 3-pointers, 54% on 2-point shooting attempts. He gives up 60% at the rim. This is what I mean by when I just use that to highlight, because people will be like, what do you mean? He's not a great on-ball defender. Now, he has the mechanics to turn into that, but he hasn't been that yet.
I mean, and let's just be fair. Like, it's a lot of dudes in the league that just ain't great on ball
Oh,
defenders.
facts. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he makes up for it in other ways, in a major way, which is why he was the runner up for defensive player of the year. But I get where you're coming from with that. So
Yeah. Steve-O?
It was going to be Atlanta, but the only person I could see like even being better than Atlanta or a rival in Atlanta would be a healthy Philly team,
That
and
was gonna be mine.
with that Philly team, especially with, I just think the addition of VJ Edgecombe could be just a new air, a new fresh breath, and it could be a savior for Joel Embiid. To be quite frankly with you, because it give you somebody that has the potential to be another 25 point average point per game scorer to take the load off. Let alone you already got a PG. I'm not expecting PG to give you no less than 50 games because that's just what he's historically been as. So you get a decent 55 game, 58 games out of Paul George in the right moments. He play in the playoffs all the way to the end, alongside the same with a Joel would be got Quentin Grimes. You still got Andre Drummond. You got Johnny Broom, who's a rookie, but not only is he a rookie, he's an older rookie, 23 years old. So he not like super young when it comes to this. And then you just got a lot of solid pieces. Eric Gordon's on this team, a lot of solid shooters. Kyle Lowry's still on this team. So when I just come to when I imagine what happened to Indiana, I could see them taking the place as an Indiana type team.
It's Paul George. Paul George on the 76ers, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't mention him, but I
He
just
did.
got one
He did.
question.
He did.
Absolutely.
First
I missing Paul
He
George.
did.
Let me ask you this question
See
about
now.
He did.
VJ Edgecombe. I look at VJ Edgecombe as a featured player, if you get my drift. Like, he could do both things on defensive side and on the offensive side. He's very, very efficient. He's like a big time player. Like, you can feature your offense around.
Yeah.
Is he a drop and play type player on this team? I don't see that working so smoothly like you do.
I think so because he could create on his own.
That's
And
right.
it don't take much. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that's when you kind of get the best Paul George, because I think the biggest thing out of Paul George, his whole career going back to college, is he don't play 100% all the time. And if you get somebody like VJ going back to playing at Baylor in the high school, if you watch VJ growing up, he played like that all the time. He ain't no playing. He loved basketball. This is his way out. So
that kid is a
when
star.
he coming in, you can have a day or two where Paul George ain't going 100% because you're gonna get somebody like Tyrese and him going 100 miles per hour every single time. So I don't think it's gonna be that much of a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Philly. I think that Philly finally has started putting a roster together that can be solid, even if Joel isn't. Now, I'm not saying they could be a championship contender, but they're on the precipice of being a solid team, regardless of what happens with Embiid. You got Maxey, you got VJ, you got Jared McCain, Adem Bana, who I like a lot. They add Johnny Broom to that team, who I like there. If they re-sign Quentin Grimes, they have a solid core. I'm not saying that
And
they're
they
going to
really
be like
don't need to because they got
Yeah.
Jared McCain.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true too. So we'll see what happens with Philly. But yeah, originally my pick was going to be Atlanta, but after Dub picked them, I was going to switch to Philly. But Philly is definitely a team that I think is going to. I get why people doubt them after how last season went, but I think if you could just get relatively healthy seasons from Paul George and Joel, I think that's going to be a team that's right there in the East.
So with asking both of you guys, y'all pick Philly. So how many games Joel Embiid got to play for these guys? 60 games. Do you think it's
just if perfect, if I need something I need out of him, just give me 60.
just 60 games? Okay.
60 is a stretch.
And
Though,
60
like,
is 60 going to be tough for him.
I mean, like, he's not going to play back-to-backs. He's going to have situations where his ankle hurt, his knee hurt, his finger hurt, his face hurt, his feelings hurt. Something's going to keep him out other than just the basic stuff. I don't know, man. Like,
well, let me put it this way: I mainly need more of that 60 towards Paul George, which I think is more reasonable. I think when it comes to Joel, he just got to be able to be healthy at the right spots.
Who they got backing up? Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Andre Drummond backing
And
him up. But I think the
Adam.
problem is that Paul George just had surgery. So it's like it's a bunch of question marks with him. But I get what both of you guys saying. And I think they absolutely could be a sleeper simply because I think there's gonna come a moment in time to where this team pivots to Tyrese Maxey's team. Me personally.
Or
If
VJ.
Because he got to get jumped by VJ.
I mean, it can go to VJ, whoever. But I think that it's gonna come in a moment in time to where you're looking at Joel Embiid and say, "Hey, we went there, we trusted the process. The process ain't got nothing but second round exit."
Failed.
And we got Tyrese Maxey, we got McCain, we got Grimes, we got Edgecombe. Let's go ahead and pivot and move on in another direction. I think that time is going to be coming real soon. Maybe not this year, but sometime probably next year. Because me personally, I just as a competitor, I can't keep sitting there and keep holding my hand and wishing that Joel Embiid is somehow going to be healthy. He has not been healthy coming into the NBA. He has not been healthy during his time in the NBA. Right. So he's an older guy now. To think that he's going to be healthy for a huge amount of games and a gruesome playoff stretch to try to get a chip. Yeah, I don't have much faith in that, me personally.
The most we got out of the process is an MVP trophy. That's the most we got out of the process.
And but that isn't all on him either. Like, I don't know if y'all got to read the interview that he did when he got pretty deep and talking about like he was doing a cry for help when he admitted the injury things and how he felt like Philly didn't listen to him with his ankle stuff early in his career, which led him to missing most of his first 2 years in the league. Like he got really candid. I don't think it's all on Joel Embiid. Like there's
no. The process. When I say the process, I include Ben Simmons. I include Joel Embiid. All that included
Michael Carter Williams,
Michael Carter Williams, all of
that. Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz, definitely.
All that being said,
look, they could have picked Jason Tatum instead of Markelle Fultz.
Right.
Exactly.
All that being said, I still rather that than the fuck what we did the last 3 years.
Oh Lord, this ain't about us.
He stays tried.
It ain't about us.
That's my job, Steve-O. I bring up the Bulls, not you, Steve-O.
Don't start your mess, Steve-O.
At least they tried. They tried something. It didn't work, but they tried.
Don't start.
Hilarious. All right, Western Conference. Let's switch gears here to the Western Conference.
Did you give your pick?
I said that both mine got taken.
It's always the
old niggas. And y'all be
First, Doug said that Steve-O didn't mention Paul George. We had a whole 2 minutes of talking about Paul George. And then Kev started to mention I'm the host here. I got this.
Wait a second. You said that you were going to pick Atlanta and then you also were going to pick Philly. So I just didn't know if you had a different team because everybody else picked it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, switching gears to the Western Conference. Who wants to go first in the Western Conference?
I'll go first because I'm sure a lot of people going to say a lot of the same thing. I'm going San Antonio.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Oh, they so nasty.
They learned. They're learning from OKC. You can obviously see they've learning from OKC. They're stockpiling things. They're making appropriate trades. They're still keeping top value in the trades that they're making. They got point guards. They got guards. They got forwards on forwards. They got a goddamn dragon we ain't never seen. At the end of the day, I like their coaching staff. I like their system. You got them. You still got a point guard, and you still got a trade that can still happen to still can make your team better on top of picks there. So like when I say that when they can be a real life sleeper, and the reason I'm saying that because they only won 34 games,
bro.
So, to me, they sleeper in me.
Hey, bro, I love it, bro. Let's just do a little bit of hyperbole. They match up in the Western Conference Finals. I'm talking about with OKC. What the fuck is OKC gonna do with Wemby? Nothing. They better hope these guys don't get it.
What OKC can do with Wemby? First of all, Wemby got to prove that most teams were putting small forwards on Wemby and stopping his offense. I'm not worried. Like if I'm OKC. I'm not worried. Like Wemby is not going to beat you single-handedly. He hasn't shown that yet. Now maybe he makes that step this year. He hasn't shown that yet.
With a team full of killers, he got a team.
We don't know if he got a team full of killers yet. He got a team full of potential.
Fox, He got the rookie of the year.
Look at some of De'Aaron Fox's playoff performances.
He's still a solid player.
No, he is solid. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily saying that your line of thinking is wrong. I'm just saying they got a lot to prove before we can just assume that they're going to be able to fuck with OKC.
You are right on that, 100%. But that's why I said in hyperbole, if they get it together and Wemby takes another step, if y'all can believe that,
he's going to have.
What in the hell are they going to do with Wemby?
That's nothing. The thing. That's a hell of a step, bro. Like, and the thing is, we've seen like all the waves of defenders. When you look at the beginning of last season, even almost until Wemby went down, the way teams were able to phase Wemby out was they were putting small forwards on Wemby.
And that's sad.
And that's
Lou Dort would give Wemby, based off what we saw last year, some work.
But I think I think the problem is it's a mindset switch with Wemby. Because Wemby ass still trying to play like from the outside. Motherfucker, you 7'4", get your big ass on the block.
And that's
once he realized he on the block, once he realized how dominant he could be on the block, that's the switch.
Yeah,
because when he
playing a European mindset, Steve. Like they're
about finesse more than
Steve, is that imminent? Is that imminent that Wemby's gonna get that?
I don't
eventually.
I don't know.
Because you better be.
You know what? Especially with Germans, Euro, they all have weird times when they switch. You never know when it.
Because
it took
Dirk a minute. It took Dirk a minute.
It took Dirk a minute. It took fucking Yao to get dunked on twice. Like you never know when the fuck the players go switch.
I'm gonna go with the Dallas Mavericks right here. A healthy Dallas Mavericks team reminds me of what we were talking about in the East with the Philadelphia 76ers. You have on this team Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis. Those guys are capable of giving you 30 any night.
Is he coming back?
That's what I was going to ask. I want to interrupt.
Kyrie?
I want to interrupt.
They said around December because he didn't have a tour Achilles. His was ACL. They said around December.
Kyrie coming back. The ACL.
I knew he was coming back.
You got that factored in, Kev. All this.
Oh, absolutely. Because
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But not even just them. The PJ Washingtons, the Klay Thompsons, the Daniel Gafford. Like they were so injured last season that it was almost like they weren't going to be able to field the team at some point last season. Where it was like, man, we only got 8 people on the roster.
And Lively's still injured, correct?
Yes.
Lively's still injured, but he'll be back too. So, like, I just feel like health plays a role. But Dallas, with those guys all meshing, we're talking about sleepers. Like, I don't expect them to be world beaters. But if they can get these guys to play 50-plus games together, 60 games together, they got a chance to make it to the playoffs and scare somebody in the first round. Like Kyrie is still Kyrie. Anthony Davis is obviously he was missed by the Lakers when they traded him in the playoffs. We were like, who could have blocked that shot? Anthony Davis. Who could have got that rebound? Anthony Davis. And then you got all these guys that can come in and give you points. They had 10, 12 players averaging double digits last season before they traded Quentin Grimes to the Philadelphia 76ers. So I just feel like this team is probably going to be a team that's a sleeper team in the Western Conference, obviously depending on health.
You said just to surprise somebody in the first round, or are you talking about a championship?
Oh, no. Not a championship team.
Okay.
But that's how I look at it.
That's how I was looking at it.
They do have the number 1 overall pick as well on this team in Cooper Flagg, who, if he gels, we don't know what's going to happen with this. He could be another 15 to 20 point per game scorer to add to Kyrie and add to AD. It's just one of those things where the coaching staff is solid, the bench is solid, and then you have 3 players that can put up 20 to 30 points in any given game. This Dallas team is definitely going to be slept on. And come January, February, we could be talking about a team that could push for more than just a first round situation for the Dallas Mavericks.
That was my pick too. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely picked it.
I heard you curse when I said it.
Oh yeah, man. I'm like, hey, I wanted to get it out first. But just to add on before y'all Hayes or CW, y'all go next. I just think that front court, however you want to play it, it's gonna be hard to go out there and beat. I think that right now we're returning to that era to where we like, hey, you need bigs out here. I know the Warriors went out there and they changed the landscape with the small ball, and everybody was trying to copycat that. But now we in that era to where you need bigs to go out there and versatile defenders at the wing position to go out there and win. I think right now you're looking at D'Angelo Russell,
That
D'Lo.
too.
He is a head case, but I think he can hold down the fort until Kyrie get back.
You right.
And I'm interested to see what Jason Kidd is going to do with Cooper Flag, because Jason Kidd has this idea. He wants the ball in Cooper Flag hand a little bit more. I don't necessarily know, at least right now, but I'm anxious to see how it's going to look. But I think that what's important is that Cooper Flag is a big basketball player that can do a multitude of things. And I think that he got a lot of game and he's ready defensively. You want to see what he can add offensively, but I think that's a huge step for them just to add on a little bit more.
Real quick, Bobby. Remember when Jason Kidd was coaching the Milwaukee Bucks and he put the ball in Giannis's hands?
Yeah.
To have him bringing the ball up the court is going to be similar to what he does with Cooper Flag, trying to get that into that Euro step type mentality that Giannis has now, pushing the break, getting to the rim, early offense. It's going to be very similar in Dallas.
It's going to be interesting.
And sure. D'Angelo Russell, that pickup is sneaky good for those guys, bro. And they still got Spencer Dinwiddie, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Spencer is with Charlotte, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah, he's gone. So, yeah, but I still feel like the bench, the role players, as well as who they put in place to hold it down before Kyrie comes back, Dallas is going to be one of those sneaky teams in the Western Conference.
Okay, I'm going to go with mine, and I'm going to choose a different logic. I believe, just like Indiana for the past 3 seasons, they've been kind of slept on, but they've been a strong team and one of the best teams in their conference. They lost in the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years, and that's what champions usually do. Think about the Chicago Bulls. I haven't named the team yet. You think about the Chicago Bulls. You think about the Los Angeles Lakers. All the champions in the NBA, you go through your lumps before you get there. And I think the Minnesota Timberwolves are taking that type of route as well. Like I said, they lost the last previous seasons in the Western Conference Finals, meaning they was one step away from the finals. They did not do anything in the offseason. They stayed there. I do have a question with the front court depth. You got Rudy Gobert and you got Naz Reid backing up the 2-4s, the 4 spot and the center spot. I don't like it. They need another body or one of these young guys to step up. You got a point guard problem. Is my guy Rob Dillingham going to take a step? He has to take a step for this team to take that step into the finals. Anthony Edwards has to get better in leadership. I think he will do so. He has got better every single year we've watched him. He's one of the best players in the league. Julius Randle, I didn't think they would mix. They actually mesh well. I think this team has a chance to win the NBA Finals next year. It's just how much did they get better this offseason with no moves made.
They definitely putting a lot of stock in the young players, Terrence Shannon Jr. and Rob Dillingham, just to add that.
Definitely taking a huge step next year. And they're going to have a role, too, especially Terrence Shannon Jr. He's going to have a huge role and could actually be like their primary scorer off the bench, depending on how he rounds out, because he's coming off a really good summer league for that team as well. So we'll see how that shakes out for him. But my team, real quick here, the Memphis Grizzlies. I just think Ja's motivated. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be motivated. I know they traded Desmond Bane, but the players that they replaced him with and bringing KCP as a defender that we know what he can bring and a decent three-point shooter sometimes, with them getting Cedric Howard to that team.
Yes.
It's almost exactly what that team needed. If you're going to move on from Desmond Bane and you tell me that you're moving on and Cedric Howard's the one that's going to, whether you replace him this season or in the future, I think Cedric Howard is a perfect pickup for them and what they're trying to do as far as keeping the defensive intensity, the three-point shooting, his ability to catch and shoot. I think him and Ja Morant are going to be a dangerous backcourt going forward into the future. I like this team. Zach Edey's going to take a step up as well. Have my thoughts about him and Brandon Clark, so we'll see.
Well, let me ask you: do you feel with them losing Luke Kennard, do they still have enough? They lost Luke Kennard
and running him that many minutes, though, if I believe.
Luke Kennard didn't even play that much,
but he still shot 40+% from 3, and so did Desmond Bane shot 3s as well. I'm just asking: do they have enough shooting for the Memphis Grizzlies coming into this season?
I think that's fair because you look at Ja Morant, he definitely got to get in the lab. I understand that he is one of the more athletic point guards and more vicious finishers at the rim, but that shit keeps him hurt, bro. You gotta be
He
able
like
to
the new.
shoot from
He like the new
outside.
AI.
You gotta be able to shoot from the outside, and I hope he really, really working on that. I believe he shot at a better percentage this year, but it has to be at a more consistent level for real.
That's a fact.
Hey,
That's a
Drip.
fact.
This is actually I'm looking at this. This is a very good pick, Drip. Would you say that they lost a little talent, but they got more serious?
They lost talent, but they got players that replace that talent. It's just on paper right now. We got to see how it's going to come together. I think coaching is a big thing too that we're going to have to see. I wasn't impressed with their new coach's offense. I know he's supposed to like have revolutionary offense. I wasn't as impressed with it, but him having a whole offseason now to draw that up, we'll see what he brings there. But I love this roster. I think coaching is going to be a big part of it. If he can come in and bring a lot of what Taylor Jenkins brought, I think they're going to be all right.
I'm trying to get you to say something about Ty Jerome. Would you please say something about Ty Jerome and what he's going to bring to this team? Yes.
I like Ty Jerome. I'm just not, you know what it is? Just every once in a while, there are role players that get overhyped. I like Ty Jerome. I want to be clear there. But I feel like to some degree, people talk about Ty Jerome like there are people that are saying that one of the reasons why they're not extending Ja yet is because Ty Jerome. And I want to tell those people to shut the fuck up. So when people start saying shit like that, it makes it hard for me to give players props. Ty Jerome is good. He's really good. And I think that he could be the TJ McConnell for this team.
Yeah.
Not just as far as the same exact type of player, but that type of role for this team. It's just that some people knee jerk.
It was good for them too.
I gotta let people stop pissing me off because some people be saying wild shit and then it be making me not want to talk about people. But that's what.
You heard me, Hayes.
What'd you say?
I think it was real good for them to hold on to Aldama too. I think
for sure.
Player.
That's big
for sure.
A good body, good length. He can do a lot of things.
Good body, good length, Dub.
But pause.
I mean,
Kim said, I
want this fucking pick. I wanted to pick this pick now.
Oh man. Any last thoughts, fellas, before we get up out of here?
No, this is a good one. We had some haters in the comment for the last one. They say we don't do no basketball. We need to do a mailbag show because we don't know basketball.
We don't know nothing about
what I've been doing over on Bull Central is anybody who say that I'll be like, I'm gonna send you the link. Come in here if you want to debate me. And don't nobody pop up. It's easy for people in the comments to be like, y'all don't know basketball. All right, come up here and let's debate it then.
Hey, they watching though, so appreciate it.
Exactly. Man, make sure you guys are following us at NBA Central. Y'all can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, NBA Central Show at gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything basketball related. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.